Sherman, he's literally eating the webcam wire right now. Sherman, stop it. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Megan Frizzle here. I thought it would be perfect since I'm dressed up as the space dress outfit Miss Frizzle to do some sci-fi science fiction recommendations. So I have 10 books that I really enjoyed that were science fiction slash dystopian slash superhero-esque, and then I have 5 books that I'd really like to get to that are in that realm as well. Alright, so we are going to do my top 10. I'll start with 10 through 5, then show you 5 books I want to read, and then I'll do the top 5 sci-fi. So first, number 10, we have Criers War by Nina Varela. In this, we are following Crier, who is an automaton, and she is the heir to the throne, and she's being led up to take over the throne. She is betrothed to a soldier named Skyward, and she's just like kind of not that excited about it, but she's doing as she's told. She's very obedient and subservient and that sort of thing until she meets Ayla, who is a human girl, and this is a sapphic romance, but it also talks about kind of that like robots taking over the world element, and the humans are the lowest class, and it talks about how the humans are treated badly because they're humans, and it gets into that kind of political aspect, but the romance was also adorable, so I really enjoyed this one. Next is a middle grade called Stowaway. This is by John David Anderson. In this, we are following a young boy who is planted on a pirate ship in order to save his family. This ship that he was originally on was hijacked by a villain alien race, and then his father was stolen because he was researching the key to this like hyperspace engine fuel. And so Leo, our main character, has been planted on the subsequent hijacking of the pirates, to kind of let people know that the original ship is stuck in space, it's demolished, there's people still on it, it's not just a wreck, that these people need saved, so on and so forth. And it's really fun. The whole crew just gave me like Guardians of the Galaxy slash Han Solo and Chewbacca comedic vibes, so I really enjoyed the comedy in this, and it's just a really fun, cute space middle grade. Next is Binti by Nnedi Okorafor. This is a short story, very short as you can see, and I'm going to try to be a little bit vague with the synopsis, because if you actually read the synopsis of this book, it pretty much gives the whole story away because it is such a short story. So basically, our main character, Binti, has been offered the chance to study in this galactic university, and she is the first of her tribe to be offered this opportunity. On the way to the university, the spaceship is hijacked by an alien race. So I'm not going to go too much further because it really not a ton happens after that point. That wouldn't be something I could share because of spoiler reasons, even though it's pretty much in, again, the synopsis here. But it is a series of short stories, so there is going to be like other books in this, but I really enjoyed this. It was a great political commentary as well as just a fun and entertaining read. Coming in at number 7 is The Illuminati Files by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This book is told in a mixed media format, which is really cool because we are told the story through like camera operators captioning what they see on the camera, through emails, through texts, through like computer coding logs. So it was a really fun time. In Illuminati specifically, we are following Katie, who is separated from her boyfriend slash ex-boyfriend after he was injured in the escape from the planet that was attacked, and her and Ezra, which is the boyfriend slash ex-boyfriend, they broke up on the day of the attack, so it was kind of weird. they're like trying to get back to each other, and Katie gets involved with the sentient AI named Aiden, and Aiden has decided that in order to protect the entire fleet, half the fleet must die. So it's kind of like a suspense thriller sci-fi, but young adult, so it's not super spooky. But I really enjoyed this. And then the rest of the series, Gemini, Obsidio, and Memento, is also a lot of fun. Number 6 is Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leigh Bardugo. This is a little bit, you have to decide whether you would consider it sci-fi or not. But Wonder Woman is a superhero. However, she has more mythological magic ties than I would say science fiction ties. However, I'm going to throw it in here because why not? This was a lot of fun. It's basically Wonder Woman's origin story slash like meeting people of Earth or like modern society for the first time, and it's a lot of fun. It started my addiction to Wonder Woman, so yeah. Now 5 sci-fi books I would like to pick up. First we have Winter's Orbit by Everina Maxwell. In this we are following a world in which there are tons of wars and tons of treaties to keep the peace. However, one day the prince is killed and his widower is suspected of murder. However, the widower is also arranged in marriage to an aristocrat, so the aristocrat and the widower are in an alliance to clear the widower's name from this murder. It just sounds intense. I do believe it is a male-male relationship, and it just sounds like so much fun, honestly. Next, I received this from my coworker to borrow. This is her cousin. It's called Relativity by Kristen Bashara, and it is the debut novel of Kristen. And it follows a girl who has all these mistakes in life that she wishes she could redo, but she knows she can't, until one day she comes upon a lightning-struck tree that is a portal to other times and worlds in which she can create the perfect life. But how many times does she have to go through the same scenarios to get the correct mix of relationships and scenarios and settings and everything to create this perfect life, and it explores that. So it sounds a lot of fun. Next is Aetherbound by E.K. Johnston. I have wanted this one forever just because of the cover art. In this we are following a main character who has been born with some sort of genetic mutation that makes her lesser than, and so she's been held captive or something until one day at a space station she sees her opportunity for escape, and she joins a trio of the powerful family that runs the space station, and together this trio will cause a mutiny to the space station and avoid the destinies that were originally planned for them. Next is Aurora Rising by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. I'm particularly interested in getting this one because the final book comes out in December, I believe, Aurora's End. And this we are following, honestly, I don't know much other than this space crew, and we have the Alpha, the Diplomat, the Scientist, the Gearhead, the Warrior, the Pilot, and the Mystery Girl. And it just feels sort of like The Breakfast Club in space, and I don't think it's actually that, but that's what it reminds me of based on that, and I honestly don't want to know much more. I do believe our main character Aurora was put in a cytonic or catatonic or some C-word sleep that caused her to sleep for thousands of years or something, or hundreds of years, several years, and then she awakens and is sucked into this crew or something. I could be completely wrong. And the final book I'd like to pick up is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. This is, I've heard it described as the Hunger Games in space, sort of, in which we have these factions that are like high class to low class, and the faction that our main character is from has been working in the caverns for many years in order to create land and livable space up on the surface. However, one day our main character discovers that the surface has actually been civilized for many years and they're just using this low class to keep the operation running. And the like low class is not receiving any of the benefits, so he somehow infiltrates the upper class and is going to demolish it from the inside or something like that. I don't know, but it sounds so fun. Coming in at number 5 is Light of the Jedi by Charles Soule. This is the first foundational book of the High Republic arc of the Star Wars series, in which we are following this great disaster in which a spaceship has broken apart or wrecked in hyperspace, and it has caused several amounts of debris to scatter across the galaxy, and the Jedi are on the case to save this whole galaxy. Next is Cinder by Marissa Myers. This is like a whole series of fantastic sci-fi. It is like retellings of fairy tales, but in a sci-fi world. Cinder in specific is following Cinderella's story. However, Cinder is a cyborg and she has fallen for the Empire, like the Emperor's son. So lots of fun. I don't want to go into it too much more, but we also have Scarlet, which follows a Red Riding Hood retelling, Crest, which is a Rapunzel retelling, and Winter, which is a Snow White retelling. Next I have Renegades, also by Marissa Meyer. I love Marissa Meyer's work, if you couldn't tell. Renegades follows a society in which the renegades and the anarchists are against and opposing odds. However, everyone's just kind of morally gray. There's no real good or bad. Nova is an anarchist who infiltrates the renegades by pretending to be a superhero with superpowers and enters the like superhero competition and is joined on the elite task force team that Adrian, who is the renegade head's son, is also part of. And Adrian also has a secret identity in which he is kind of a vigilante. So it's discovering like who's right and what does right really mean. And it's also just a really fun superhero novel. Coming in at number 2, we have Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. This novel, like this series, is just so much fun. You're gonna see my excitement rise as we go closer to number 1, even though we're already at number 2. But Skyward, we are following Spensa, who is or aspires to be a fighter pilot. However, at a young age, her father abandoned a very critical fight, and her whole family has been labeled as cowards because of this, and she's almost banned essentially from joining the fighter pilot squad. However, she works her way into it, and oh my gosh, it's just so much fun. I love aspects of like school settings and also like friend slash teams. So this is just so much fun. I can't even begin to describe how much I love this, and I cannot wait for Cytonic to come out. And finally, at number 1 for Megan Frizzle's favorite sci-fi. This is more of a dystopian, but it has sci-fi elements. This is like one of my all-time favorite books, you guys. That is Scythe by Neil Shusterman. This is a world, a utopian world in which death has been eradicated. The only way to possibly die, because disease doesn't do it, car accidents don't do it, these people literally throw themselves off of buildings for the fun of it because they know they'll come back. The only way to die is if one of these scythes decides it's your time and essentially scythes you. We are following 2 people who have been tapped as apprentice scythes. However, they've been tapped by the same master scythe, so this is an uncommon practice in the scythedom. So the whole council has decided that these 2 apprentices should battle it out. Instead of just both becoming a scythe, they should battle against each other, and whoever wins this competition will have to scythe the other contestant. Oh my gosh. One of the best books I've ever read. Please read it. Please read it. So those are Megan Frizzle's sci-fi recommendations and some sci-fi that I'd like to pick up. So Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what your favorite sci-fi books are, if you have any recommendations for me, if you've read any of these, anything about this video. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll check you in my next one. Bye everyone!